Welcome to Wheels Up. I'm Ciera and I will be your host. Today, I will be taking you on a very special adventure brought to you by the Sunrise Association, Sunrise Studios, and our friends at American Airlines. After our adventure, please join us as we do a very special craft with a very special guest. And last, but certainly not least, we will wrap things up with a really fun game of trivia. Are you ready? Let's go on an adventure!
Have you ever flown on an airplane? Sometimes, when I look up in the sky, I wonder, how does that great, big airplane seem to fly so smoothly and easily in midair? I often think about the magic of the science, technology, and engineering that allows an airplane to take us to so many exotic destinations so quickly and safely. Today, let's take a very special adventure inside and outside an airplane to see just how these amazing machines fly. Airplanes are not all alike, but they are comprised of 7 basic components: the fuselage, wings, cockpit, engine, propeller, tail assembly, and landing gear. Let's find out more about them. The fuselage is the main body of the plane, and in almost all cases, it is the biggest part of the plane. It's where we sit in our seats and where we store our carry-on luggage. The wings, engine, propeller, and tail assembly help the plane fly. The cockpit in the front of the plane is the pilot and co-pilot's command center. There are 4 main forces that are responsible for planes being able to fly: weight, lift, thrust, and drag. These are the key components that generate the actual movement of the plane. Let's try to break this down into easier words. Think of weight, lift, thrust, and drag as 4 forces working in completely different directions. Weight is the force created by gravity and acts in a downward direction. Lift, when heavier than weight, allows the plane to move upward. Thrust is the forward motion of the plane, and drag is the force, like a strong wind, that pushes the plane back. So, we've got downward, upward, forward, and backward forces that help make the airplane fly. All 4 of these forces are super important to any aircraft's flight. Fun fact number 1, over 300 years ago, a famous scientist, Sir Isaac Newton, developed Newton's third law of motion. Maybe you've heard of it. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This theory has helped to further explain how the forces we just spoke about affect a plane's ability to fly. Boy, oh boy, I love science! The plane's engine allows for quick movement down the runway and creates the lift for takeoff. The engine is often referred to as the airplane's power plant. This may also include the propeller. The engine is made up of many components, such as cylinders, pistons, and fans, which help produce the energy needed to propel an aircraft. The power plant of the aircraft may be a jet engine or a combination of propellers along with the engine. Once airborne, planes travel about 500 miles an hour. That is really fast! Wow! The wings help the plane to stay high in the sky. Wings are curved on the top and flat on the bottom and use a tilting motion, similar to an oar in a rowboat, to stay on course and in the air. 2 larger wings are found outside the middle section of the plane, and 2 smaller ones near the back tail of the aircraft. Planes are able to stay balanced in flight due to weight distribution. This is the reason they weigh our suitcases at check-in. Make sure you pack light on your next flight. At the tip of the front wings are the ailerons. They are movable parts of the wings that are controlled by the pilots and permit them to bank the aircraft for curbing or turning. The tail section of the aircraft is known as the empennage. Its main purpose is to give stability to the aircraft. Found on the smaller back wings of the plane are the elevators. They are responsible for the up and down motion of the aircraft. Fun fact number 2, in 1903, the Wright brothers made the first successful airplane flight in North Carolina. The plane was airborne for 12 seconds and flew a total of 120 feet. This plane was called the Wright Flyer. And of course, the landing gear is essential to any aircraft. Landing gear is found underneath the airplane and may be used during takeoff or landing. This is where the wheels are found. This gear ensures a smooth, safe flight. Have you ever seen the wheels below the plane as it's taking off or landing? Fun fact number 3, building an airplane is a huge task, and it takes a lot of work. Most planes have 6 million parts. The people who help build planes must be very smart and able to pay attention to all of the details. Woo! Do you know where the cockpit on the plane is found? I'll give you a hint. The word cockpit means control center. If you guessed the front, you are right. Next time you step onto the plane, look towards left to the front of the plane and see if you can catch a glimpse of the cockpit. In the cockpit, the pilot and co-pilot have the jobs of controlling the aircraft and keeping the passengers and crew safe in the air and on the ground. This is where pilots spend most of their time. Within easy reach of the seated crew, the cockpit contains all the display, control, and communications equipment that crew members need to operate and navigate the aircraft on the ground and in the air. They can talk to air traffic control or other aircraft in flight, and they can monitor or control onboard systems and equipment. The control panel in the cockpit has several hundred buttons, lights, and switches that the pilot and co-pilot use to help guide the plane. They know what each button does and when to use it. Pilots must be very smart. Pilots even have important pedals they control with their feet. The rudder, along with rudder pedals, control the steering. The rudder pedals are controlled by both left and right feet and work to stabilize the aircraft in flight and control the wheel brakes on landing. Fun fact number 4, according to flight tracking services, there are 9,700 planes and 1.2 million people in the air at any given time. If you want to fly incredibly fast, the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird is the plane for you. The United States Air Force was the first to fly this jet at speeds of 2,200 miles per hour. This plane is way faster than roller coasters and race cars. It also flies incredibly high in the air at 85,000 feet. That's more than twice as high as a commercial passenger plane. Would you like to fly this high in the sky? Now a little bit about airports. Do you know what the busiest airport in the world is? If you guessed the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, located in Atlanta, Georgia, you are right. There are 96 million passengers each year at this airport. In second place is Beijing Capital International Airport in China with an estimated 86 million passengers. Fun fact number 5, the world's longest nonstop commercial flight, which departs from John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City and lands in Singapore, is 18 hours and 40 minutes long. It's a very, very long flight, traveling over 9,500 miles. Did you know American Airlines has a fleet of over 950 aircraft, the most of any airline in the world? Their largest plane is the Boeing 777-300. It can hold 304 passengers plus the flight crew. Fun fact number 6, in 1973, American Airlines became the first major airline to hire a female pilot. Bonnie Taberzi worked with American Airlines for 26 years and is the first woman in the world to earn a flight engineer rating on a turbojet. What a superstar! Learning about airplanes and how they fly is absolutely fascinating. Now, when I look up in the sky and see an airplane, I'll know a little bit more about how it stays up there. I hope you liked our very special episode of Wheels Up today. Exploring how things work and how science impacts things we seem to do every day is fascinating. See you next time on another great adventure with Wheels Up.
Our next stop is crafting. Let's go!
Hi, my name is Caroline and I'm so excited to do arts and crafts with you today. Today you learned all about how planes fly, so today we're going to do 2 airplane crafts. I hope you have fun!
Project 1, a paper airplane. Supplies needed: construction paper in 3 to 4 different colors, scissors, markers, crayons or colored pencils, and glue. Project number 2, a straw airplane. Supplies needed: construction paper in 1 or 2 colors, 1 straw, scissors, markers, crayons or colored pencils, and glue.
The first craft we are going to do is a model airplane. So what you will need is some paper, and I'm using a bunch of different colors. So you can either choose a bunch of different colors or you can make yours all one color. If you're doing different colors, you need 5 different ones. And first, you're going to take a big piece of paper and you need some scissors, and you're going to cut a strip across your paper like this. Just like this. And now you're going to take some glue and put some on one side of your paper, and then fold your paper over and put it on top of the other side, just like this. And now we're going to make the wings for the plane. So you could take another piece of paper and you're gonna cut a shape that looks like this. Just like this. And now I'm going to glue this onto the shape that I created from before, a bit more. So you can do that too. So I'm going to glue my wing that I just made and put it on my shape from before. Just like this. And now I'm going to make that same shape but a little bit smaller for the back of my plane. Just like this. And now I'm going to glue it on to the shape from before. Just like this. And now I'm going to make the propeller for the front of my plane. So I'm going to take some green paper and make 2 little strips. And now I'm going to glue them onto this part. So I'm going to glue them on, and I'm going to glue them on top of each other so that it looks like an X. So one like this, and then the other one is going to go across. And if you want, since this is a propeller, if you have a fastener, you can put that through the middle of your X to make your propeller spin. But I'm going to leave mine like this. And then in the middle of my propeller, I'm going to draw a little dot that connects the 2 of them. Just like that. And for the last part, I'm going to cut a triangle shape out of my orange paper. Just like this. And now I'm going to fold the bottom of it and put some glue on, and glue it onto the back of my plane so that it sticks up. Just like this. And here is my finished model airplane. And if you want, you can decorate yours more, you can draw designs on it if you want, but this is my finished one, and you can even make it fly like this. I hope you had fun! The second craft we are going to make is a different type of model airplane that actually flies. So what you will need is a straw and 2 pieces of paper and scissors and glue. And if you want to decorate, you can also have some markers or crayons. So the first step is we're going to cut a strip out of each of our pieces of paper. And one strip is going to be longer than the other. So my blue one is going to be the shorter strip, and my orange one is going to be longer. Just like that. And now, if you want to decorate, this is when you're going to do it. So I'm going to take some crayons and I'm going to draw some different designs on my strips of paper. And you could draw whatever designs you want. You could draw stars or hearts or any design that you can think of that would look really cool on your model airplane. So I'm going to do stars on one, and I'm going to do polka dots and some hearts on the other one. And I'm making them all different sizes, but you could do whatever designs you want. So I'm adding a few more hearts. Okay, so now my strips are all decorated, and now we are going to glue them. So I'm going to take my glue stick and put some glue on one side of my strip of paper. And then we are going to fold the paper and connect it to the other side so it makes a circle like this. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side with the other strip of paper. Just like this. See, now my orange one is bigger than my blue one. And now we are going to connect our pieces of paper to the straw. So I'm going to use this glue so that it stays better. And I'm going to put some glue on my straw to make a little hill at the end. So I'm going to put some glue on either. I'm going to connect it to my paper. And you want to make sure that your glue dries all the way before you try to fly your plane. So you might need to hold it there for a few seconds. And I'm going to do the other side. But because I wanted to show you how it flies, I made one ahead of time where the glue already dried so that I can show you. So this is the one I made before. As you can see, the black paper is bigger than the pink paper. And the way it flies is because the air goes through the two circles and through the straw. So you can fly it like a real plane, like this. I hope you had fun making these crafts with me, a paper model airplane and another model airplane that you can really fly. I hope you had fun. I'll see you next time. Bye!
We had so much fun crafting with you today. Come on board for our final adventure, which is gonna be a fun trivia game. I'm gonna ask you 10 questions. Each question has 4 answers, but only one is correct. Can you figure it out? Well, come on, let's play.
Welcome to Wheels Up with Sunrise on Wheels. How do airplanes fly trivia? Question number 1. How many basic components make up an airplane? A, 3, B, 5, C, 7, or D, 9? Wow, 7 basic components to make up an airplane. That's a lot. Question number 2. Which part of the plane holds the passengers and the carry-on luggage? Is it A, the fuselage, B, the cockpit, C, the wings, or D, the tail assembly? Where do you and your luggage sit? In A, the fuselage. Question number 3. Which scientist developed a theory that helped explain how airplanes fly? Was it A, Albert Einstein, B, Sir Isaac Newton, C, Rosalind Franklin, Or D, Marie Curie? Sir Isaac Newton. Can you believe it? Question number 4. What is another name of the tail section of the aircraft? Is it A, the engine, B, the fuselage, C, the empennage, or D, the landing gear? This is the tail back end section of the aircraft. And it's the empennage! Question number 5. In 1903, who was responsible for flying the first airplane? A, the Plane brothers, B, Amelia Earhart, C, American Airlines, or D, the Wright brothers? Do you remember who flew the very first airplane? It was the Wright brothers. Question number 6. What is another name for the cockpit in an airplane? A, landing gear, B, control center, C, propeller, or D, the engine? Remember, our pilots sit in the cockpit, which is also the control center. Great job! Question number 7. What is the world's busiest airport? Is it A, the John F. Kennedy in New York City, B, the Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta, C, Beijing Capital in Beijing, or D, Schiphol in Amsterdam? Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta is the most bustling, busy airport. Question number 8. Which was the first major airline to hire a female pilot? A, American Airlines, B, United Airlines, C, Air Canada, or D, Delta Airlines? I'll give you a hint. We mention them a lot on Wheels Up. You guessed it, American Airlines. Question number 9. At what speed is the Lockheed SR-71 able to fly? A, 1,700 miles per hour, B, 2,200 miles per hour, C, 2,700 miles per hour, or D, 3,100 miles per hour? Wow, 2,200 miles per hour? That is so fast! And our final question, number 10. What route is the world's longest nonstop flight? A, Chicago to Sydney, B, Beijing to Mexico, C, New York City to Singapore, or D, Paris to India? New York City to Singapore. What a long flight! Wow, you did such a great job with trivia. Thanks so much for joining me today, and looking forward to seeing you next time for Trivia with Wheels Up with Sunrise on Wheels.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of Wheels Up. You can tune in to more Wheels Up episodes via the Sunrise Studios app, downloadable on your mobile device, iOS or Android, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. We can't wait to see you on our next flight with Wheels Up, brought to you by the Sunrise Association, Sunrise Studios, and our friends at American Airlines.